Hello friends, welcome to my channel Industrial Engineering. This is the part 3 of MIG welding process in which we are going to learn about the variables that affect the welding process of MIG welding in detail. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 of MIG welding yet, click on the I button or find the link in the description box. So let's start with the explanation. The primary variables which affect the welding process of MIG welding are: first one, the welding current or wire speed, as they both are interrelated with each other. Second, voltage. Third one, travel speed and orientation of electrode. Fourth, CTW, electrode contact tip to workpiece distance. And the fifth one, nozzle to workpiece distance. So the first point, welding current or wire feed speed. This is the front view of the wire feeder. This knob is used to regulate the wire speed and this knob is used to adjust the voltage. The wire feed speed is directly related to the current. The higher the wire speed, the more wire is deposited and hence more current is required to burn off the electrode. The wire speed is measured in meters per minute or sometimes inches per minute. The diameter of wire also forms part of the current. For an example, 1 mm wire feeding at 3 meter per minute will require less current than a wire of size 1.2 mm feeding at the same rate. The wire feed is set according to the material to be welded. If the wire feed rate is too high in comparison to voltage, then a stubbing effect happens where unmelted consumable contacts the workpiece, creating large amount of weld spatter. Too little wire feed comparison to voltage will result in a long arc being created with poor transfer and eventual burning back of the wire onto the contact tip. The wire manufacturers are generally produce wire of diameter size 0.6, 0.8, 1, 1.2, 1.4 and 1.6 mm. So the second point is voltage. The voltage, often referred to as the heat setting. This will be altered dependent on the material type, thickness of the material, gas type, joint type and position of the weld. Combined with the wire speed, it is the main control adjusted by the welder. The voltage settings vary depending on the type and size of the electrode wire being used. In this image, this is the arc length. This is the molten metal which is penetrated inside the parent material. So the voltage is increasing from 22 volts to 24 volts in this image. So when the voltage is increased, the arc length is also increasing. As you can see that the arc length is increasing when the voltage is increased. Penetration of weld pool into the material is reduced. So this is the penetration, the amount of molten metal inserted into the parent material. So in this 24 volt image, we can see that the penetration into the parent material is reduced. The width of the weld bed is also increased. So this is the width of the weld bed is also increasing. The types of defect we can observe in when we increase the voltage are porosity, spatter and undercut. So the third point is travel speed. When the welder increases the travel speed of the wire, current is also increased so that electrode melts at faster rate. With increase in travel speed, the penetration into the parent material is also reduced. So we can see that in this image the penetration in the parent materials is reduced and the width of the molten metal bed is also reducing. And the most common defect that we can observe when we increase the travel speed is undercut. Friends, the orientation of electrode with respect to workpiece is very important. In this image, three different types of orientation is shown. First one is trailing, second one is vertical, third one is loading. So in trailing orientation, the penetration we observe is very deep. The maximum amount of weld metal is dropped onto the workpiece and the most common weld defect we observed is undercut, which is severe. In second position, which is vertical, moderate amount of penetration is produced into the workpiece. Moderate amount of weld metal is dropped onto the workpiece, and the most common weld defect we observe is undercut, which is also moderate. For third one, which is loading, shallow penetration, minimum amount of weld metal dropped onto the workpiece, and undercut we get is very minimum. So fourth point is contact tip to workpiece distance. Friends, CTW has an influence over the welding current because of resistive heating in the electrode extension. So we need to understand this image first. This is the contact tip, gas nozzle, contact tip setback. This is the distance. Nozzle to workpiece distance, contact tip to workpiece distance, and the most important one, electrode extension. The welding current required to melt the electrode at the required rate to match the wire feed speed reduces as the CTW is increased. Friends, always remember that penetration is reduced with the increase in electrode extension. For different types of metal transfer mode, there is recommended range of electrode extension. For dip transfer, it is 10 to 15 mm. For spray transfer, it is 20 to 25 mm, and for pulse transfer mode, it is recommended 15 to 20 mm electrode extension is used. So friends, our last point is nozzle to workpiece distance. So, nozzle to work distance has a considerable effect on gas shielding gases with the decreased stiffness in the column. Means it will reduce the efficiency of the shielding gas when we increase the nozzle to workpiece distance. The nozzle to work distance is typically 12 to 15 mm. If the CTW is simultaneously reduced, however, the deposition rate at a given current is decreased and visibility and accessibility are affected. So in practice, a compromise is necessary. For different modes of metal transfer, we have recommended contact tip to position relative to nozzle. For dip transfer, we have 2 mm inside to 2 mm protruding. As we can see over here, this is the contact tip to nozzle distance. For spray transfer, it is again 4 to 8 mm inside. For pulse transfer, 6 to 10 mm inside the nozzle. So friends, I hope you are now clear with the variables which affect the MIG welding process. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. I will answer them. In my next video, we will learn about shielding gases mixtures used for welding base material and duty cycle of welding power sources. Thank you for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel.